talk about another kind of world. Another kind of world.
What are you afraid of?
I'm lost in old ways.
I'm not afraid.
Well, here goes nothing. Talk about another kind of world. Another kind of world.
What are you afraid of?
I'm lost in old ways.
I'm not afraid.
Just listen.
Hot chocolate in hand. I think we're just about ready to go here. Welcome. Happy Friday, everybody. Man, I can't believe it's the weekend. And I can't believe a little bonus stream, a little bonus flight tonight. We're in the DC-3. I don't know why we're shaking around. Oh, I do know why we're shaking around, because the winds are blowing like Mach 10 here at San Francisco. Going to be flying down to San Diego tonight as part of the Friday Night Ops, although the Friday Night Ops is much more geared towards the cargo variety of aircraft than it is this vintage bird. So we'll do the best we can, though. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to actually just jump right to it. It's a fairly long flight in the DC-3, as you can probably imagine. Let's see if we can get this bird started. Oh, I'm picking up text messages and all that good stuff. All right, park and brake is set, doors closed. Battery coming on. Generators are going to both come on. We're going to turn the beacon on. The nav lights, we're going to go ahead and turn, those on. I kind of wolfed my dinner down, so I got the hiccups right now. Cabin signs. No smoking, fasten belts. On. Ignition master. On. Mags are, they are off. Yep, okay, good deal. Fuel quantity, we should be pretty well maxed out. I topped the tanks off. Yep, left main looks full. Left auxiliary full. Right auxiliary full. Right main full. Not exactly by the books, but I always like to fly this thing with full tanks. Mainly because I'm too lazy to go into SimBrief and try to do all the calculations here from pounds to gallons to whatever. Let's see, we checked the tanks. We need to set our fuel selectors to left main, and let's see if I can get this over to right main. There we go. Carb heat is cold, trim is 0. Cowl flaps right now are open. Mixture is, zoom back out here, idle cut off. Yep. We're going to crack the throttle. We're going to pull the the prop controls full forward. Man, having trouble talking. And let's check these flight controls here. Full left to center, full right, center, elevators up, elevators down, rudder right, rudder left. That looks good. I do think we have some traffic here. I can kind of see it, or hear it anyway. And so, and we do have some ATC as well. Actually, I'm going to go ahead, before we do anything, we need to get our clearance. Oh, and we also need to change our, I got to go with the dog. Wait a second. Oh, it's Maryland or nothing? Alright, Maryland, you get to fly with us today. NorCal approach is actually the lowest controller we have. We have information Romeo. NorCal approach 3395. And actually, no, I take that back. I need to get the engines running so I can get my inverters and nav radios powered up. So let's go ahead and do that. Fuel pumps, we'll start the right side first. Starter will be engaged. Count those flaps out. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We will make sure the mags are on. We're going to go mixture to auto rich, and we're going to hit the primer. And there we go. I can hear it firing up. Awesome. Very good, very good. Last time I was in this plane, we had some trouble with that, so that actually is a good feeling. Alright, right side is going, left side. Let's see, we'll start the fuel pump. Left side starter engaged. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That gets the oil flowing through the engine. Turn the mags on here. And mixture to auto rich. And primer. And that's a good sound as well. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome sight and sound. We'll let those warm up just for a second. In the meantime, we'll turn the inverters and the radio master on. And now, and actually we can turn the fuel pumps off. Don't need those boost pumps now till we get ready for takeoff. But we can go ahead and hit NorCal approach 3395. Turn that on.
You try to read back for Northwest 8969, you go with squawk. I don't care.
Huh?
Neither do I.
And NorCal United 284, information Romeo looking to pick up IFR down to San Diego.
284 NorCal, good evening. I don't have a flight plan for you. I just re-follow when you get a chance.
Just shot that your way again for 284. We'll be standing by. And it's going to take a minute because we're filing slant alpha today. So he's going to have to take a look at our various waypoints, not the traditional routes by any means. And here's what I'm talking about. Now we're pretty well heading down, you know, fairly direct route here, but there are some things that we have to hit. I think Woodside is the first VOR that we'll tune in, and then on down to 284. Yeah, he's looking, saying, wait, that's not standard. Anyway, we'll cruise down. We'll actually pass over LAX and into San Diego, where they almost always are landing west into the ocean there. Yeah, that's what we have filed. We'll be probably around 140 knots or miles per hour and flight level 100, so 10,000 foot. That's about all I can coax out of this baby, especially with full tanks. And should take us about just a little under 3 hours. So hopefully we'll get going here soon. Our scheduled departure is at the bottom of the hour, which will put us just slightly over time in terms of air traffic.
010 down to 4,000.
We're going to go ahead, by the way, and we're going to tune in Woodside, because I feel pretty good about hopefully the clearance here. Feel good about hopefully? That doesn't make any sense at all, I know. 113.90 would be what we would need for that first.
284, clearance level.
Go ahead for United 284.
United 284, clear to San Diego. Gap 7 departure as filed, maintain 5,000, expect 1,000 in 5 minutes. Squawk 4671.
Cleared to San Diego as filed. We'll maintain 5,000, expect 10,000, and squawk 4671, United 284.
284, back correct.
Alright, I didn't hear what he just said right there, but
Oscar 1814, turn left heading 3301 airport.
4671.
Westbound 3000, descending right to it, left United 737 at a short 9 o'clock.
And where we happen to be, by the way, it's interesting because
okay, last 330, we've got traffic inside and the airport inside.
We may actually have to request a little pushback.
All that traffic there for the same runway. Join outside of a 9 mile sign. I'll be cleared visual approach.
Depending on what we have here behind us.
Yeah, we'll follow the traffic. We'll join outside of a 9 mile
Here's what I'm talking about. We're going to be pushing back on, potentially on a little bit of a taxiway here, but I actually think we're going to be okay. Before taxi checklist, let's see, we have the inverters, the avionics, mags, all this is on, fuel pumps off, tail wheel is unlocked, flaps are up, mixture auto rich, chocks are off. We'll go ahead and actually one thing I want to do here, I'm going to set my altitude to 5,000 and we'll just double check really quickly. We'll brief our departure. We don't have to be in a hurry here. This is going to be a night that requires a little bit of patience. But the Gap 7 departure, we will, right now the ATIS, by the way, departing runways 1 left, 1 right. So we're here. So we're going to climb at a 350 radial to assigned route or fix, and then we expect further clearance to filed altitude 10 minutes after departure. So I am guessing that what they'll do is take us here and loop us around and shoot us out to Woodside, although there is the chance we could be heading to Barton and down as well, since we are in a low altitude route. So we're just going to see, but the main thing here is 350 off of San Francisco. So actually I got ahead of myself with the nav. San Francisco is 1580 and Woodside 1390. We'll tune that into nav 2. And then 350. Hey, that guy's got the same idea as we do. 340, 350. Alright, cool.
Thank you very much.
And oh, actually I don't need that at 350 per se just yet. I don't know 100% that needs to be where that needs to be. It kind of depends on when they turn us, but alright, we will track that. And well, no, I take that back. I do need that to be, because I have to have the outbound radio. Alright, so we're ready. We are ready, Eddie. I am going to again just make sure we're not gonna push back in anybody's way here. I don't think we will. We do have a plane right next to us, but
approach. This is
that's about it.
Heavy back with you again. Request IFR clearance to Ontario.
Push there. Release the parking brakes. I don't honestly know in this plane what the pushback would look like, but we're just going to use the old pushback of shame, Shift P. Get ourselves back a little ways here, and yeah, we don't need a lot of room here, so we'll call that good. Reset those, and I think we're ready for our taxi. Pull up the chart. And NorCal United 284, we're ready for taxi. Should have told him we had Romeo again, just so he knew.
United 284, runway 1 left, taxi via Alpha Foxtrot Bravo.
Alpha Foxtrot Bravo, United 284. Okay, we can do that. 1 left.
2230, turn left on Echo, taxi.
We're going to turn this guy off here. Whoops. I don't remember how to do that. Which one are you? 5, there we go. So many different commands here as we get rocking and rolling. Brakes are off. Power up. Differential braking, as you know by this point. Let's come around. We'll pick up Alpha. There is traffic coming in, so they may want us to hang tight here. Not seeing much down there. Alpha actually is, we don't want to get out here on this. That's Bravo that they're coming in on, so I just about overshot that Alpha. There we go. That would have been bad. Would have been a rough way to start. I am going to go mode Charlie on my V-Pilot. I'm a little concerned, I'm not going to lie. The wind right now is 17 knots, but it's gusting over 20, and it is, right now, it's coming down the 2.7s. It's not really set up for a 1 left departure. 270 at 15 actually is the current wind speed. A little while ago it was quite a bit more. Alright, we're coming up. Foxtrot. We're gonna hang this right and be on Bravo, which will take us all the way down to 1 left. We will say a small prayer to see if we can keep from getting run off or blown off the runway. Oh, what have I just done? Holy cow, I think I I just nudged the mixture lever and
Verify that's FedEx 89 calling.
just about turned things off.
Affirm.
They need to be
FedEx
both
89,
auto rich.
30, taxi via Bravo Whiskey. Runway 30 via Bravo Whiskey Express 89.
Oops, about to run over the island here. I need to be over. Wind is causing me some problems. I'm not going to deny that, but I think it's going to be doable.
Sheriff Office, no traffic is there between you and Tracy.
We might wear the
change to advisory frequency
brakes out,
connect.
but we're going to be able to get airborne. Alright, here's where it should really push my nose to the right. So the wind right now is hitting our plane hard from the right hand side. So it's hitting that tail and swinging that tail to the left. So I am on the differential brakes in a big way at this point in time, just trying to hold it on the taxiway line. That's good hot chocolate. I'm gonna need it. We got a ways to go. The cold is still hanging on strong despite multiple doses of hot chocolate. Alright, just prepping here. Oakland Center 132.2 will be our next frequency. We're going to be down to Mike 1. That's the end of runway 1 left. And that's coming up here pretty soon. I think this is Mike. Yep, that's Mike. So we'll go ahead and take this next one. We'll just... Oh boy, that was not good. We've just lost departure. Hopefully that's just a momentary reset. I wasn't paying real close attention, but I was listening for my call sign and did not hear him indicate that he was going to go offline. So we'll give it a minute. We do need to run through a real quick before takeoff checklist. Alright, mixture auto rich, props are high RPM. Trim, we're going to spin that back to 0.2. Hard to see that, it's over here. I just let the check mark come up. Cow flaps, we'll go to trail, and I can't actually, this is the weirdest thing, I can't actually do that by spinning. So I have to double click to put them to trail. It's the weirdest darn thing. Alright, there's NorCal approach coming back on 133.905. Landing lights are going to come on. We do need the boost pumps back on. And we will lock the tail wheel here in just a second. I'm also going to go flaps 1/4. Alright, we are ready. Oh boy, NorCal 133.905. He is tuned in, but I can't hail him. What the hail? Yeah, he's having some issues. He just logged out again. So we'll give him a second, though. We plenty of fuel. Let's just take a look at the sights and sounds of San Francisco International Airport. With a little bit of hot chocolate as well. There we go. And NorCal United 284, we're short of 1 left, ready for departure.
And 284, thanks. Having some issues with connection there. Runway 1 left, line up and wait.
And not a problem, line up and wait. Runway 1 left, United 284. It happens. I fought that poor internet connection deal a couple of weeks ago. It was very, very frustrating. Still have no idea really what happened, but we did reset the router, and that appeared to
So 1777, you ready to
clear
taxi?
things up just a little bit. Oh boy. Final. Really, they don't land on this one. Clear. Runway clear. Time to get ourselves out into the wind. Let's get straightened out. Overshot that turn just a little bit.
Clearance to Los Angeles with Romeo. 284 and 1 left for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 1 left, United 284. Alright, well, we're going to lock the tail wheel in.
American 707, expect PDC.
I will expect PDC American 77.
Takeoff power set. I do have a little bit of rudder control, but I'm going to have to use a combination of everything here, as you can see. Holy cow, we are in trouble.
98, runway 1 left taxi via Alpha.
That wind is crushing us right now. Alright, not the textbook departure. Look at that wind moving us over. Holy cow. Wow. That is some San Francisco wind right there, my friends. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Alright. So, we're going to climb to 5,000. Gear is up. That is a positive rate.
This is Cathay 175 heavy. Request push to start on the cargo ramp in SFO. Cathay 175 push vector stretch information Romeo straight.
Flaps are up.
Pushback.
We're going to bring back the RPMs a little bit and the manifold pressure. Let's not blow the engines up on departure. It's going to be a slow, steady climb. And 350. How close am I? Not very. Turn 350. As you can see, I'm well to the right of where I'm supposed to be right now. So we're going to pick that up. 350, we're going to climb.
Yeah, 284 radar contact. Climb maintain 10,000.
Climb and maintain 10,000 at 284. Alright, currently trying to trim it out a little bit here. And we're trying to get our airspeed up here. As you can see, we're only about 80 right now, which is not ideal. We'd like to get that airspeed up above 100, so we're going to keep our climb rate fairly moderate for now. Yeah, you can see we're pitching up like a son of a gun. We're going to go ahead and bring the nose down just a little bit, let the airspeed pick up, and try to use aerodynamics to our advantage here. Trying to hold 350.
Expedite your climb to 3,000.
Alright, we're going to expedite 284 to 3,000. Trying. Probably not going to get much more than about 1,000 feet per minute, even when life is good, and right now we just are still struggling. Bump things up here, try to get as much power as we can.
37, runway 1 left, runway, be just a minute.
Yeah, I'm holding up the show right now, but that's just kind of the way it is. Can't red line and...
United 284, turn left heading up 280 vector, correction vectors for Salinas.
Left turn 280, United 284, yep.
So 757, fly runway head for vectors to Seagull, maintain 10,000, runway 1 left, 50 takeoff.
Okay, we're closing in on 2,000. Again, we're just trying to... We're struggling a little bit with airspeed right now, which is...
284, I'm in the altitude, climb maintain 7,000.
Okay, climb and maintain 7,000 at 284. We're just having some issues here The nice thing about this vector is it gives us a little bit of a
runway 1 left line.
Golden Gate flyby, so that's kind of cool.
1798.
Okay, I'll approach for X35.2. I think we got someone in front of us, but we are ready to taxi.
Yeah, cylinder heads are a little warm because I am pushing it hard as I can.
I'll move you as soon as he moves.
280. All right, we're going to set our turn our autopilot on. We're going to check our altitude. We were amended to 7,000, and
Also 1990 runway 30.
we're going to monitor this again.
Bravo Whiskey. I assume you're looking around the FedEx there. I can't really tell.
Yeah, that's correct. We're on the FedEx.
Yeah, that's kind of nice, actually. I think he's wanting to take us
So
to the
runway 30,
right
Bravo Whiskey for Western 1990.
and around, but it's a little bit difficult when you're a slow mover like we are.
Contact, turn left heading of
So, yeah,
310,
we may end up
10,000.
doing the full loop around to the north, which is basically the path that they have us on right now.
707 requesting on GL.
977 push on taxi Alpha is approved. Information Romeo is current.
I'm going to go ahead and tune in Woodside 113.9er.
Southwest 38, so free for push.
See if that becomes a lot active. It does.
38, push back to your discussion. Hold short
I do need to also turn the DME on.
Sure, Desmond, we'll turn around for Southwest 38, I think.
7 call coach 7, turn left on heading 160. 1777, turn left heading 160.
Let's turn 160.
Alright, so we are currently kind of climbing away from
United 1798, runway 1 left, takeoff.
Woodside, but take a look at that, man. That is, that's pretty darn nice.
Lookout approach, Cathay 175, heading ready for taxi 428 right.
I believe that's the Bay Bridge.
Squawk 4631, runway 28 right, taxi via Zulu, uniform Charlie, hold short on the...
And we're trying. The mainliner is definitely trying.
Roger, we'll squawk the
We
code.
have picked up our speed to 90 knots, which is encouraging.
Uniform Charlie.
We're through 3,500.
3522.
Just can't give much more right now. Cylinder heads are still hot. I gotta bring back the bring the RPMs back just slightly. That should hopefully help with that.
1777, Seagull, when you will contain Bravo 190.
I'm gonna open the cowls up just a little bit also there. That's the other weird thing about when you set the cowls to trail is you can't use your mouse to get them back to open up. So it's just kind of one of those deals, I guess.
Third last 28 right approach for United 1035, thanks.
So Cal approach Giant 420, looking for IFR clearance on Ontario, information Romeo board.
And 420, expect a PDC. Yeah, 284, turn left heading.
Say the heading again for 284.
Yeah, 284, turn left heading of 220.
220, United 284. Alright, we can do that.
Okay, I'll go course 59 and hold short of Bravo.
Holding short of Bravo, see, northwest. 8969, runway 30, taxi via Bravo.
Better check my speed here. I have a tendency to, on the turn, lose a little bit of airspeed, obviously. Yeah, and that was getting close here. We were down to 70. I'm going to lower the nose. We're going to pick things up here.
1777, open turn 13.2 direct to Seagull, have a night.
You can see here how much yeah, it just starts to pitch. Really pitch hard. nose it over. We're going to lose a little altitude here because of that, but ultimately that's going to end up being a good thing for us because we'll get our airspeed back up. We'll start our climb again. We're going to do a V-speed of 500. That's about all we can get right now. We're just going to have to be patient and let the controller work us through his airspace. Alright, our cylinder head temps are back down into the green, so that's good. Alright, that's a much better profile there, climb profile. And our speed reflects it. We're up over 100. Much better, much better.
When you get to the end, runway 30, clear takeoff.
We'll even nudge it up to 700 and see if we can keep that.
Western 1990, runway 30, clear takeoff.
Alright, quick takeoff, runway 30 for Western 90.
Hotel 24, ready to taxi, runway 1 left with Romeo.
Yeah, 724 and I 1 left taxi to the Alpha Foxtrot Bravo.
Alpha Foxtrot Bravo, United 724.
NorCal UPS 736 open with TDC 54605, taxi for departure.
UPS 736, runway 30.
There's one of our fast mover guys that was waiting on us.
30, Bravo, UPS 736 heavy.
United, turn left heading of 170, when able direct Seagull, maintain follow 190.
Alright, 170 direct Seagull and up to 190.
United 1798, expect through 7004 traffic.
Alright, up to 7,000, United 17.
And a pleasant Friday evening downwind sim.
Expedite through 7000 for traffic.
What are we up to tonight? Well, we're flying the Friday night ops. We're going to try to see if we can sneak a DC-3 into San Diego. We are currently just departing San Francisco. We have an extremely patient air traffic controller because we've held up a bunch of traffic here with how slow we are, and our climb has been a bit slow as well. And so anyway, that's kind of the current status, and I keep getting too much pitch. Yeah, I'm back at that ultra high pitch angle for some reason. So we're constantly nudging things down, trying to get our nose over. We're not quite hitting 7,000, which is what we've been cleared to. But Friday night football and marching band for you, Downwind Sim. All right, man. Thanks for checking in, buddy. Yeah, good seeing you. Have fun. Our high school team is on the road tonight, which is why I'm here. So enjoy. Good luck to the Fighting Illini or whatever you guys are down there.
Yeah, 1798, you should be climbing to follow 190. Stop your descent, maintain follow 190.
We're just about leveled out here again because of the pitch issue. Which is
United 284, fly heading of 60.
Heading 160, United 284. Alright. We're slowly getting where we need to go.
Higher later on down the line.
I think we'll be a little bit better. Daughter is the star of the show, man. That's cool, dude. I love the marching band. I want to hear all about it. I've got a cool picture to show you too. I'm going to put it on the Discord channel, by the way. You'll get a kick out of it, speaking of being proud. Alright. Have a good night, man. We'll see you on the TCAS, buddy.
November Charlie 41, Roger, expected PC. And 1200 on my 1 left taxi via Alpha Fox Bravo. Unit 1798 Oakland Center 132.2.
32-2, I'll see you, 1798.
Unit 724 on my 1 left, I believe travel across downfield.
Item wait, 1 left, United 724.
United 7, 175 heavy taxiway Charlie, cross from my 1 left, cross from my 1 right, hold short running 2 right.
Roger, cross, one way, 19er and 19er left, and continue taxiing and hold short of 28 right for Cathay 175 heavy.
I'm heading 160 vector C, maintain follow 190.
Left turning 160 from 190, Southwest 38.
Marksman 1990, turn left heading 200, zoom to departure.
Left heading 200, zoom to departure for 19.
In NorCal.
Okay.
Northwest United 69, number 1430 at, Ontario. Or Oakland.
FedEx 3522, taxiway Charlie, cross from my 1 left, 1 right, hold short runway 28 right.
Cross 1 left, 1 right out Charlie, hold short 2 right, for 3522.
Northwest 19, correction, Northwest 89, 69, runway 30, clear takeoff.
And clear for takeoff, Northwest, United 69, any initial heading on that?
Just the published heading.
Okay.
296.
United 69, thanks.
Southwest 388, direct to Seagull, maintain follow 190.
Direct Seagull 190, Southwest 38.
United 724, runway 1 left, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 1 left, United 724.
All right, we're level at 7,000. We should be cleared Woodside here in just a bit, I would hope, or maybe we'll get the Santee intersection.
Yes, 736, heavy, thanks, it'll be a minute.
Here's basically where we're at. We took off on 1 left, looped around, and we're heading actually kind of parallel right now, but there's Woodside, and down here is Santee, so I would expect a clearance to one or the other of those here in just a little bit. Again, Woodside is 113.90, and then from Woodside we'll be tracking 141 outbound radial to Santee.
Yeah, 724 right there.
So that's what I have tuned in right now. 1390.
For 190 via the 6.
Yeah, 724, thanks. Turn left heading, correction fighting of 280 meters for KX, maintain follow 190.
Hope you had a chance to get airborne tonight
190 United 724.
and participate in the Battle of the Freight FNO event out here in the ZLA airspace. The feature airports are Ontario International and San Diego. I think they're catering to the cargo planes here. If you look at the advertising page, they have a FedEx and a UPS. I think MD-11s, or maybe one's a DC-10. Hard to tell. But anyway, some big cargo jets.
724, turn left heading 160 vector.
But we are in a, quite obviously, a passenger jet, just to have some good ATC, and we should have really good ATC as we head down the way here.
Negative.
Here's what it looks like so far. We departed San Francisco. 24 departures. I would imagine this is going to be a popular departure place. And down here, here's LAX. Here's Ontario. If I could get my mouse to hover on it. And then here's San Diego. Right now, 50 arrivals. Could be interesting. Ontario, 33, so that's cool. LA, it's probably picking up quite a few as well. 15, not bad. Here's kind of the fantastic map check-in. Oh, this is kind of cool. You've got San Francisco radio here. If you want to fly a little bit westbound out there, out to Hawaii. We do have a nice event going on tomorrow. That's actually our next scheduled event is tomorrow. We'll have the King Air flying around some of the small airports down there in the Hawaiian Islands. Here's what else is happening though. Looks like Memphis and Atlanta centers are online. Toronto Center, Montreal Center for air traffic here in the United States. It's getting a bit later over in Europe. Yeah, most everybody is, actually everybody's logged off now as it's well into the early morning hours. And then nothing down there South American way. Nothing yet Asia, Australia. So here's the action tonight if you're looking for places to fly. Denver, Albuquerque, Oakland, and LA centers with looks like Salt Lake is ready to give you a little departure action as well. So yeah, hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy the ATC. It's the beauty of VATSIM, man. It's what it's all about.
Lookout approach FedEx 3854 Heavy, requesting taxi out of Oakland.
We're not quite at cruise yet, but I am going to go ahead and turn the fuel pumps off.
Heading 120, enable direct Salinas and resume navigation.
Heading 120, when able direct Salinas, resume on nav, United 284. Alright. Spin that to 120. That's a little bit of an unexpected, or is it? I have Woodside in my mind, but maybe that's the other name for Woodside. Let's just go check here. Nope, San Carlos. Salinas, oh man, so I've been cleared. Let me get this tuned in right now. Salinas is 117.30. I wonder if I can pick that up. 117.30. I'd have to do a little bit of work to get there, but let's just start by seeing if we can pick it up here. Ah, we do have it. So direct Salinas. Let me get that tuned first, and then I got a ways to spin around here.
Okay, unrestricted 190, UPS 736 Heavy.
Yeah, 736 Heavy flying up.
Alright, that's pretty close. We're going to engage the nav lock, and I'll tell you, I'll show you what we've been allowed to do here.
United 724, Oakland Center 132.2, Heavy United.
I need to check in on my altitude. And NorCal United 284, just double checking, are we cleared to 10,000 or would you like us to stay at 7?
Yeah, 284 maintains 7,000 for now, and you can actually expect 1,000 if you're able to altitude. You can plan on the next about 30 to 40,000.
Alright, appreciate that. 284. Alright, so here's what happened for us, by the way. We were thinking we might get cleared, you know, Woodside or maybe down to the Santee intersection, but we actually got cleared all the way down here to Salinas. And so, like I say, we're kind of out in this area somewhere. We're just kind of cutting the corner and heading straight down there to Salinas. So we'll maintain our 10,000 and yeah, should be good. Let's take a look at the sights and sounds here for just a minute.
Altitude, climb maintain 7,000.
Maintain 7,000, flying 280 American.
Cathay 175, heavy direct to maintain follow 190, contact Oakland Center 132.2.
190, and heading correction, we will go to Oakland Center 132.3 for Cathay 175, heading.
American 707, turn left heading 220.
Left heading 220, American 707. Departure 3522, climbing through 1,900, 3,000.
FedEx 3520, northbound departure, radar contact, climb maintain 5,000.
Up to 3522.
American 707, turn left heading 180.
Left 180, American 707.
GPS 736 heavy, turn.
Sorry about that, guys. The hot chocolate was kicking in there. Had to make a quick trip back to the little pilot's room. In the meantime, Al South checking in. Speedbird times 20 checking in. Hello, 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 captains. Great to see you. Happy Friday.
260 is vectors for Seagull and up to 6.
All is well in your world, guys. It is a great plane, and I didn't realize, Speedbird, that it had been almost 2 weeks since I've been in it, so it was just a perfect choice tonight for a little bonus stream. And yeah, I'm just double checking here just to see.
707, climb and maintain, follow 190.
Sorry, I archive all of my streams over on my YouTube channel. And yeah, Marilyn Monroe. Usually, because I try to keep it PG-13 or PG, I mean, I have a picture of a dog right there, but had to go Maryland tonight because you can't have nothing. It's bad luck, right? But yeah, so let's see. It was our late night DC to Boston
to Las Vegas
almost 2 weeks ago. Yeah, on the 6th of September, and that was back when I was having internet trouble, so it was like a 16-minute clip is all. But yeah, so some cool details, there's no doubt about it. Not everything is modeled, but a lot of stuff is. And Al South, he probably already does have the X-Plane version. This is made by Manfred John and Jan Visser, but Aeroworks does it for X-Plane, and it's exactly the same plane, excuse me, with just a few differences. A lot of the autopilot functions in this version, the P3D version, aren't operable, but the stuff that in the X-Plane version actually is. So, but you know, it's not the worst thing in the world to pop out the 2D panel and just set everything like you need to.
180 vector for Susie, maintain follow 190.
All right. We're keeping, by the way, our throttles pretty maxed out, and our mixture on auto rich, because we are going to have to climb a little bit in just a few miles. So, and right now, actually, our
2706,
I could nudge the manifold pressure here. Two types of autopilots in the Aeroworks version. Oh, okay. The one thing I wish I could do is adjust the altitude and the heading. That's really all I would need. And those are two things that I just can't adjust right now in this plane. But that's okay. Like I was alluding to just a second ago before I got distracted is Aeroplane Heaven is supposed to be remaking their DC-3 slash C-47, and by the looks of the pictures that they've released, it looks like it's going to be quite an outstanding airplane. So can't wait for that. Actually, they posted a release that it was supposed to be done in July, and obviously July came and went, and now the latest word that I hear is that they've sort of pulled back on really any release date now because they must have run into a few issues. But did a few DC flights in the down in the Amazon delivering cargo to the unknown. Yeah. The fires in the Amazon, yeah, it's. I don't think people realize the scope of that. It is. It's scary.
Heading 250 for Eagle, reset transponder when able.
Alright, so we are just about 38 miles from Salinas. I think I am going to do this. We're going to pull back to auto lean. We're going to set our power settings here. It does give me a little bit of a cruise setting, so between 18 and 23 for the RPMs, 31 and 33. So I usually go 32 and 22.
Yeah, 1200 Susie, contact Oakland Center 132.2, have a good night.
RPMs to 22, and manifold pressure to 32. There we go, that's pretty close. And then when we need to climb, we'll go ahead and we can crank that back up if we need to, but for now I think we're alright. And flaps again are supposed to be on trail, which is roughly there.
1,800.
That's just a funny little glitch that I can't get it to trail. I can't. Oh, actually, trail's the other way around. I can't. I don't know why, but. It's actually a little bit of a different opening, and so. Close them up for now. We should have plenty of cooling with the mixture as it is. If not, we'll just double check from time to time. We'll keep our eyes peeled on that cylinder head temp down here as well. Pressures look good. Our oil temp, cylinder head temp looks really good, and carb air temp looks good as well. So we're at cruise setting. We're 140. I'm happy about that.
FedEx 3854, the radar contact.
And Speedbird, I think the other thing about them is just they're so versatile, and they were so far ahead of their time that they are still viable. I actually have a cockpit here that has a more modern glass panel that I have flown from time to time, but you put modern avionics in these planes and they're going to be flying for the next 50 years, maybe longer. The guys that the Basler turbines that can get put in them, I mean, they really are an extremely versatile platform, and it's one of my favorite all-time airplanes. There's no doubt about it, which is why I will spend money, even though I've loved this plane and I've loved the fact that it's freeware, but I will spend money on the Aeroplane Heaven just because I want a really high quality, as deep as I can possibly get systems wise, flight model wise. I'm really excited about that. Alright, so just do a quick check. 30 miles from Salinas. After Salinas,
Do you want me to maintain this?
Let me just pull this over. I might as well show you while we're doing it. Alright, so Salinas, where are you? Salinas, right there. So after Salinas, we
1779 normal speed, contact Oakland
basically
Center,
continue.
132.2.
It's not quite the same, but 107. It was.
Normal speed,
We obviously are not on the airway here because we came up more in here and kind of cut the corner, but it's not going to be a dramatic change. We'll be on a 107 outbound heading to,
Yeah, 361 procedure, Seagull, do not exceed 25.
what is that, Priest? Okay, 110.0. So we'll kind of get ready for that and go from there.
Climb and maintain 900,000.
Yeah, Speedbird, that's exactly.
FedEx 38.
Actually flew that or simulated that route.
160 direct Seagull 1 able, FedEx 364 heavy.
And 361, climb maintain, follow 190.
190
Flew that Blue Spruce route over the course of several days, several weeks actually, in commemoration of the 75th anniversary of the D-Day landings. I used this cockpit and tried to do some old school kind of dead reckoning and drift calculation and all that good stuff just for fun. But yeah, what they're doing now, and most of the planes that went over, if not all of them, for the 75th anniversary, they used more of the modern avionics. Haven't been showing you really the outside very much. Me and Orbix are kind of not BFFs right now. Having some issues with some of the scenery and the new FTX Central. There's been a few small airports that I've had trouble with. Well, and also a major one, Orlando. It has a really weird layering issue, and they haven't been able to help me, and I'm a little frustrated that the main way that you can get help from Orbix is through the chat forums. It's not a very efficient way, so yeah, that flight from Antarctica to New Zealand, yeah, 2-day flight. Yeah, but I haven't done that one.
United 284, climb and maintain at 11,000.
Sorry about that. 11,000, United 284. And now here you go. You get me talking about Atlantic Ocean crossings and all that good stuff. It gets me fired up, man. Alright, so we need to, we're going to go auto rich again. And I am going to open up the cowls a little bit here. Because we're going to crank up on the power slightly. Or a lot, actually.
Remember, Charlie 41, turn left heading 160.
And we're going to need it 11,000 for me in this plane.
Left turn 160.
I know that they're supposed to be able to get to, 15,000 or so without too much trouble. I've never been that lucky. It has always been an absolute street fight for me to get that high. Okay, 19 miles to Salinas. Out of Salinas, 107 is going to be our heading. So since we are on Navlock, I'm going to go ahead and spin that to 107.
Central 41, climb and maintain 9,000.
Maintain 9,000, north Central.
Overall, I still love Orbix. There's no doubt about it. I've got quite a bit of it, but that's what worries me is this new upgrade to Orbix FTX Central 4.0. I'm worried how much it's messed up what I have, but there's no doubt that for the world of P3D, it's the best thing you can get for these types of detailed overlays, and this really isn't even the True Earth stuff that they have available now, which is, just from the looks of it, pretty spectacular. So Speedbird, the flight from Antarctica to New Zealand, you have to tell me a little bit about that. The one I did was it went from Goose Bay, Canada, up to Narsiswatch, Greenland, then to Reykjavik, Iceland, and then from Reykjavik down into Scotland. Where did I land in Scotland? Oh shoot! But Scotland to England, and then England across to France there. So the liveries, they're just AvSim. I just searched for, you know, classic DC-3. I don't even know what I searched for. Just Manfred John DC-3 liveries, and you have to make sure that it's the right. Like it's. There's a couple different ones out there right now, so you have to be a little bit cautious. But there are a bunch of them, and there's some pretty talented livery artists, I gotta admit.
And we got 767 dispatching off our front side there, right to left.
All right, I need to check my. Did I go past? No, 13 miles.
Maintain 15,000, we said.
North Central 41 Heavy, common maintain possible 1900.
I'm going to go ahead, by the way, and just set in the nav2 Priest, which is 110.0.
And 126, maintain possible 190, good or Eagle here.
That will come in down here if it's live, if it's active. 289.
3854 Heavy, Oakland Center 132. Good night. Here's lead 99, contact Oakland 132.2, have it going.
Right there-ish. I don't think it's, nope, it's not quite active just yet. DME, nope, it's not active either, so. We will track from Salinas, which is a 55-mile leg. We'll track that out about halfway, and we'll pick up Priest, hopefully anyway.
North Central 41, resume normal speed, traffic go center 132.2.
32.2 for center, I think. But you have a good night, North Central 41, have a ciao.
Boy, oh boy, look at this map.
Yeah, it's 726, actually.
It's starting to get a little busy here, ladies and gentlemen. The typical Friday night. We are still up here, I think, somewhere. Yep. Holy cow, where are we? Where are we? Track my flight. In this mess here. Yep, right there. So we're just in the beginning stages of it, but it's going to be a fun night. Be interesting to see how they sort us out. I don't really have the ability, Slant Alpha, to execute an RNAV hold. So if they need to sequence me, they're going to have to do it vectors. I mean, I could fake an RNAV hold. I mean, it's not that difficult, but definitely won't be by the book. Yep, the same route, Speedbird said, did the same route from Canada to the UK. The Arctic crossing was difficult because there's only a few tiny airports. Oh yeah, sure. Fuel was an issue, and had to go off your flight plan. Got you to get fuel. I've thought a little bit about trying to fly from pole to pole in something like this, or just a smaller bird. And that's been my main question, is when you get closer to the poles, I just wonder what P3D models as far as little waypoint or little outposts. I don't know. Be kind of fun though. I think there's some really, really amazing South American scenery that's modeled, again, Orbix, go figure. But I have a few airports down there that I found that are freeware that it's really, really a neat place, and I don't fly down there near enough. there's just never air traffic. But I think that would be fun. I've messed around a little bit, but I've got a few, like I say, a few sort of dead spots that I don't know exactly how I would do it. But a North America to South America or vice versa flight would be pretty dang cool. You know, obviously over the course of several days. Yeah, a few airports you can get, and I mean, I just don't know exactly what there is in real life either. I mean, I know like in the South Pole, they actually have dropped in shipping containers and sort of have made their own little airport down there. But anyway, it's in the works. Don't look now, guys. We're through 10,600 and actually maintaining a pretty good airspeed here. We have a shot at this 11,000. Probably doesn't hurt us any that we have a bit of a tailwind. But hey, there's Priest coming into the fold, so that's cool.
680.
All right, 2 miles. I think it's time for us to engage the heading mode to 107. Since Priest is alive, we're going to go ahead and tune that in 110.0. And again, 107 was the outbound. So we're going to try to see if we can pick that up. There's 110.987. All right, nav lock engaged, and we are on our way. We're actually right over the VOR right now, so it's not picking anything up, but here in just a second, we'll get our DME.
Alpha Victor.
Yeah, you know what, Speedbird, that's something I haven't factored into the whole equation there, and you're absolutely right. You have to fly certain months because you get to the poles and there's no daylight. So that, yeah, maybe, so it may have to be like almost a 6-month deal for me. Then I'm going to have to take off, like for example, right now it's summer in the southern, or getting to be summer in the southern hemisphere. So maybe I would start down there and work my way up. All right, well, we're 11,000 and it's time for us to pull back again to 32 and 22. We can set our cruise. We can pull our mixture back to auto lean. Hopefully, there we go. And
NorCal Southwest 5411.
Close the cows.
100 off of 1 left.
We managed to maintain a pretty good airspeed there. Not quite the 140 that I planned, but not terrible. June is the best time of the year for daylight. Okay, good to know. So I might have to start, I guess, then in maybe the winter solstice.
Yeah, 726 NorCal.
Down there in the South Pole and fly my way up. The other thing I've thought about doing, which would be similar, maybe not quite as extreme, is to fly the mountains from South America all the way up into you know, the northern part of Alaska. Just fly kind of all those different Andes and the Rockies, or the Sierra Madres, Sierra Nevada, sorry. And that might end up being something too that I try to do. We'll see.
So 2296, I heading.
Yeah,
120,
I'm happy about that.
Proceed direct Avenal, Alpha, Victor, Echo.
The one thing I haven't done here is I am up over 10,000. I need to turn the landing lights off. I do have the fuel pumps off, and flaps are up.
That was 20.
Gears up.
30, taxi,
I think that's all on my
runway.
checklist. Let's just take a look here. Yep, landing gear up, flaps up, landing lights, fuel pump off. All right, next checklist is before landing.
190 Southwest 5411.
Not sure why I'm not getting a DME here. That's a little bit strange. I am tuned into the Priest VOR. It's actually Romeo Oscar Mike,
NorCal, UPS 961
and yeah, it's 55 nautical miles. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and in nav 2, I'm going to put Salinas back in 117.30, and we can use it as our outbound DME. This will be a nice workaround. So we'll just tune that guy in like that.
SoCal United 1670, ready to taxi.
Ooh, yeah, Speedbird. Now you're talking. Seaplane Adventures.
1670, runway 1. Actually, runway 28 left.
Is
taxi,
any of this
Alpha, Foxtrot, cross runway 1 left,
archived
cross
somewhere,
runway
man? I'd
1
love to check those out if you have them somewhere. That's awesome, dude.
Alpha Foxtrot, cross one way, one right, and one left. United 1670.
Pull up your
right.
info here.
Eddie, cleared ILS, 28 left, correct.
Sure, I follow you. Yep, I follow you on Twitch, but
So it's
if
5411 and then altitude.
you've got that
15,000.
somewhere, man, I would love to
Okay, we'll stop at 15,000 Southwest 5411.
get a link to that.
SoCal UPS 958 Oakland.
Okay, thank you. Outbound DME, we're 13 miles.
So it's 20 or 30 clear takeoff.
30 clear takeoff, that's full.
We better take advantage of the waning light here, guys. Let's hop out. Take a quick peek outside before it gets too dark.
2296, climb and maintain flight level 370.
No, the 2296 climb maintain to flight 27.
So that's 5411, maintain 5,000. Your existing traffic is 12 o'clock and 4 miles. Eastbound 16,500, climb and heavy 777.
We have the 777 in sight, and we're going to maintain 15,000 Southwest 5411.
Under 1055, your fuel passing 2.5, 7,000.
Lead 55, your radar contact leaving 4,000, turn right, direct to 10 Oaks, maintain flight level 190.
4,000 direct Panoch and 1990, region 55.
And 234 Oakland 32.2. And 284 Oakland Center 132.2. Have a good night.
3220 for United 284. Have a good night, man.
So 5411, climb maintain 16.
All right, there we go. Handoff to center.
1 Southwest 5411.
Center 13215. Along Southwest 1779.
Yeah.
Oakland Center, United 284 at 11,000. Hello.
United 284 Center, hello. Roger, possible altimeter 2986.
2986, United 284. Oh boy, yeah, I'm a little low according to that then. So that should, yep, adjust for me. So Speedbird is checking out, see if he can find his file for the airports. Yeah, that'd be cool, man. Alright, back outside just for a couple more minutes.
FedEx 8854, D Mach .76.
Reduce to Mach .7, FedEx 3854, heavy.
Oakland Center, United 2647, 530.
United 2647 Oakland Center, Roger. United 2647 after Surfer, it will be the session joined with Surfer 311 will maintain level 36 draw, unless ground able.
After Surfer join the Surfer arrival, 39.
United 26 for tree arrival.
Delta 2296 checking in.
And 2647 transmission was blocked, and just confirm after Surfer join the Surfer 3 arrival.
Isn't it crazy how that fog cloud layer just kind of hangs out there in the San Francisco area?
Roger.
Interesting, interesting.
Checking in.
2296 Oakland Center, Roger. Say flight level.
Was 21,000. Longitude 12270.
2296, Roger. Climb and maintain flight level 350. That'll be the final with me.
Delta 2296 climb 350.
Oakland's Office 5411 with you, level 190.
That was 3411 Oakland, Roger. Climb maintain flight level 370.
Climate 70, Office 5411.
United 361, connect Los Angeles Center 152.15.
Center 13215, United 361.
Center North Central 41, a crash and just stop. We're going to have to cancel.
North Shuttle 41, Roger.
All right, a quick scan of our instruments. We're 30 miles away. Let me see if DME. Yeah, that's interesting. That DME at Priest is not picking up. So we do know it's a 55 nautical mile leg. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on that. Everything else is looking good here. Pressures, temps, all looking good there.
Okay, good evening. It's
Car bearer, cylinder, oil temps, all looking very, very good. Alright, Speedbird, no big deal. Yeah, I do have Discord. Let's see. Let me see what my, I'll send you my info here. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but that's me on Discord, so look me up when you locate it.
United 2647 to send you the Surfer 3 around.
You know how those things can be when you think you have it organized and you put it where you can't definitely forget it, and then when you try to find it later on, you can't find it. So that's, you know what, that is the way she goes sometimes.
Gravely 99er, contact Los Angeles Center 132, report 15.
All right. Lots of traffic in the LA, San Diego area. Let's take a quick peek at that, by the way. That's going to be interesting to keep track of as well. When you zoom out a little bit, you can see pretty good stream of departures from Denver. That was another 16 departures, another popular airport to depart from. Here's down here at Sky Harbor, 17. But yeah, no surprise. San Fran, they're down to 19. They were over 30 there for a little bit, a minute ago. But here's what's going to be interesting: 53 arrivals into Lindbergh and 36 into Ontario. The Milviz PC-6 Porter. You know, I was watching a YouTube series. I think it's been on like History Channel or something. It's called "The Worst Place to Be a Pilot," and they use that Porter. It's those guys that fly down there in Indonesia and Papua New Guinea and all that. That is quite the plane. It's got to be one of the butt ugliest planes, but man, oh man, it looks like it is a blast to freaking fly. It's got that big old turbine in it, and it looks cool. I've thought many times about picking that stupid thing up, just because that's my kind of flying, man. I love it. But yeah, my friends here, Downwind and Al South, would kill me because they're trying to get me to save my pennies to move over to X-Plane, at least part-time over to X-Plane. Alright, well, we're still pretty much mostly on that west coast. Everything else is about unchanged, and do have a little bit of oceanic there out towards Hawaii. All right, Al South. Take care, brother. God bless you. Thanks for stopping in. Always good to see you, talk to you. Be well, my friend. Tell your family hello, and we'll see you on the TCAS. So, Speedbird, is there a comparable plane in terms of its handling and flight characteristics? Who can tell me what that plane is like to fly?
Mustang, then direct. Mustang's Foxtrot Mike Golf, direct.
Just about out of hot chocolate, by the way. I've got some peach cobbler waiting upstairs. I may have to make a quick run. If you're watching right now, new to the stream, it's kind of what happens here is almost always the conversation turns towards some sort of dessert. But tell me what it's. Is it like the DHC Beaver at all? I mean, is it like, what is it like? It's a single engine plane, so you can't really, I mean, I don't know if it has like a Twin Otter feel, but I'm just curious because, like I said, it's one of those planes, it's kind of like the Catalina. It just looks so crazy weird that you almost just want to buy it just because of that.
Open center south is 20, 12,000, climbing, flighable 190. Service 20, open center, good evening, climbing, maintain, flighable 350. Maintain, flighable 350, south 40.
evening, Open Center, United 1800, level 340.
United 1800 Open Center, roger. Cypress 20, correct class. Request L4.
Alright, 47, almost 48 miles away. It's just about time to start thinking about Priest. So let's do our next leg here. At Priest, we're going to be turning right slightly at 115, heading down to Avenel for a 45-mile leg. So let's put that 115
Center latitude 252.
here in the heading.
United 1870 down.
Similar to the Beaver, a little loose.
Center from Alaska 252. What approach can I expect?
Bought it for the looks, and then decided to do some mountain hops. Quite smooth.
252 standby. I'm working there.
How fast does it go? It's got to cruise pretty good, doesn't it? I mean, with that turbine in it.
Most likely the visual approach 234 left, unless you want.
We're looking for 55 here. And then we ought to be able to pick up the Avenel VOR, honestly. We never did get the DME to work at Priest, which sometimes that happens. I don't know if that's intentionally simulated or if it's just kind of a glitch, or it is what it is. I know little by little DMEs and VORs are going by the wayside, so perhaps they've thought of everything else in this sim. Maybe that's something that they've simulated.
12.9 for flight level 1900. UPS 961 Oakland Center, roger. On maintain level 350. Level 350. UPS 961 everything.
Oakland Southwest 5411, need 5 minutes.
There's 53. I'm going to need 5 minutes here in just a second because I'm going to go get myself some Kabbalah.
Southwest 5411, 3 minutes away.
Southwest 5411, approve as requested. On your way back, you can expect to hand off towards Telly 7.
I'm getting pretty close to that myself. There's 54. That's close enough. We're going to make our turn. We are going to tune Avenel, which is 117.1. Alright, I have something weird I want to show you here. 117.1. Little short prayer. Come on, come on, come on. Alright, sweet. We got it. We got it. And again, 115 is our intended outbound here. So that's about right there. That looks good. We'll lock that in. 45-mile loop. Here's what I want to show you. Somebody explain what's going on with this. So I clicked on the Avenel VOR to get information at Sky Vectors, and this is what I see. I see an airport that's called Wonderful Pistachios and Almonds Airport. 2 Charlie November 4. That's the legit name of this private airport. Free advertising, I guess. It's got to be, that's a California thing, right? Yep. Those guys, they love their pistachios. Alright, well, curious. There it is, by the way. There's Avenel. That's where we're heading, and there's that airport. Interesting. Okay, so we just passed Priest. We're heading down here. Too bad we can't see. There's a Priest Valley. It looks like it's kind of mountainous and pretty in here, but it's basically dead at night now, so there's not a whole heck of a lot we can be seeing.
3364 for Southwest 75.
Even our nose view, yeah, where we had a little bit of daylight a minute ago, sunset light. There's somebody flying the other way, it looks like.
Southwest 5411 is on frequency.
Alright, we're just
Roger.
nothing but dark cockpit now, and so it has a Pratt and Whitney PT-6A. Definitely not the fastest plane in the world.
Welcome to 70 to Surfer 3 around.
Yeah, like I say, it's not gonna win any beauty contest, but it's the perfect plane for up in there in the mountains. I mean, it just is. Here's the link to the website. Yeah, oh no, I'm not clicking that because, like I said, I've been tempted. I'm staying away from that, Speedbird.
Consider at the UPS 2986.
I actually have more airplanes right now in my hangar than I know what to do with. $284. Alright, here's where we are. We're just about down to that line to get handed off. This is the guy in the 737 that just requested a little time away. We do have 777 behind us. All kinds of different. There's the Airbus 7376. I don't see the 76s very often. Wonder if we'd have some more Mad Dogs or DC-10s. I almost flew the TriStar. I have a MD-1011 that is in a FedEx livery. That was really the closest plane that I had to a cargo plane that flew into this particular airport. The only other cargo plane I have per se is actually a Delta cargo in the DC-3, but there are no Delta cargo routes out here on the west coast, so I just decided to go with the passenger route.
200 for 190.
UPS 958, Justin. Under you call to maintain, level 350.
350, UPS 958.
Alright, quick scan of the instruments. Everything looking good there. We'll have to start to pay attention a little bit to fuel here in a bit, but we're still well over halfway for the mains. Of course, we're full on the auxiliaries, so that's not an issue just yet. Those are all looking great.
Oscar 252 to 7 maintain, level 300. Level 300, 252. 296, contact Los Angeles Center, 132.15.
That guy is just right about, probably just overtaking us right now, so we shouldn't be too much longer for our handoff. $32.15, I think is what he was telling him. We'll be ready for that, although we're quite a bit lower. We may have a different...
628 Foxtrot, verify you're descending via the Surfer 3 route.
I hope I got that mute clicked before I sneezed. If I didn't, I apologize. I was trying like heck to find the click spot there. Whew. Oh my.
Roger.
That one hurt.
The 39, open up.
Oakland Center, United 2339, squawk 3254, and we're at flight open 360.
United 2339 is Oakland Center, ready. United 2339, radar contact 56 miles northeast of the Red Bluff VOR. Quick Igloo and the Big 3 arrival maintained for level 360.
All right, about halfway down to Avenel.
United 2339 clear direct Igloo and the Big 3 arrival. United 2339.
Oh, hey, not a problem, Speedbird. Just enjoy. It's Friday night. It's time to chill, relax. I get into a little bit of a zone myself when I hear the engines on this plane. So no worries, buddy. It's we're just here to have fun and chat if you feel like it, or chill if you feel like it. It's all good.
United 284, contact Los Angeles Center 32.15.
3215, United 284. Thanks to the ATC. We'll see you. 3215, 3215. And I am actually going to wait. Oh gosh. I just tuned. What did I just do?
And then 2296, contact
1710. I just
132.15.
I just spun my nav radio instead of my comm radio. And so that just threw me off track a little bit, but we're correcting here, so. Alright, 3215. Try to get back on course here. Yeah, I took a kind of a hard. What have I done? Alright, let's go heading here. We need to swing back around it. So it jumped us off Navlock as soon as I
2296, heavy low.
spun
Just
the
make sure you're monitoring the radios.
the wrong nav
You can cross Simon
frequency,
section,
but we'll get back on track. We got a little bit, as you might expect, a little bit left of course there, but we'll re-engage the Navlock and we'll be okay. Now I'm gonna I don't know if I have quite enough time to go get my peach cobbler.
Delta 2296.
20 miles. Yeah, better not. Last time I tried to do that, I ended up spinning around one of the VORs. It was actually last Friday night. And so I promised myself I was not going to do that again this time. I was going to make sure that I was in between. LA Center, good evening.
Delta 2296.
Darn it. I just stepped on that guy. Sorry about stepping on you. This is United 284 at 11,000. Good evening.
Delta 2296, cross Simon and maintain 12,000. And altimeter 2982.
Oh, he was typing that in.
Monitor your radio, please. You've got plenty of other aircraft. And South of 1779, contact Los Angeles Center 119.95.
Over LA Center 1995, so long, Southwest 1779.
United 460, contact Oakland Center 132.2. Good evening.
Contact Oakland Center 132.2, United 460, have a good evening.
Good evening. Who else was calling?
Yes, sir. United 284 at 11,000. Hello.
United 284 84 low, maintain 11,000.
Can do. That's probably all I can do, honestly. I don't know if I get 13. I think I actually filed 10,000 by mistake, which is a rookie mistake. 15 miles. Inbound Avenel.
Southwest 280, descend of the Commerce to arrival.
Let's go ahead and just take a quick peek here just so we know where we're heading. So here's the Avenel.
Descend via the Commerce to arrival.
And 116
12,
outbound radial down to, let's see, Gorman. Gorman. Okay.
Descend of the Commerce to arrival. That's probably.
Denver Commerce to 361.
That's 261, contact LA Center 119.95.
Alright, that looks pretty self-explanatory.
1995,
116 is just about what we are heading right now, so it won't be a huge change for us.
And center Grizzly. Grizzly 99 is a 7-mile right base for 22.
Grizzly 99, the wind is calm, runway 22 clear land.
22 clear to land, Grizzly 99.
Product 3854, contact Los Angeles Center 119.95. Good evening.
119.95, good evening. Good evening, go ahead.
Grizzly 99, heavy check gears down and lock.
And gears down for Grizzly 99.
Angelo Center, Creener 216, 1,800, climbing 13,000 off Ontario.
Trainer 216, heavy low, time maintain flow 250.
250, Creener 216.
Just taking a quick peek ahead here. I think this 75-mile stretch from Avenel to Gorman is going to be my cobbler leg.
4873, heavy contact Las Vegas approach 135 Bordeaux. Good evening.
Hey, Las Vegas approach 35-0 for 4873 heavy. Good day.
LA Center, Southwest 20, Audible 350.
That was 20 low. Southwest 20, descend the Lerner 2 arrival, and the altimeter 290.8, 2.
Send via the film recording note 2 arrival 2982, the altimeter Southwest 20.
292.
Center recall, Southwest 28.
Picking up a little bit of night lighting down here at a few of these communities. But, yeah, nothing but wine country down here, I think, right now. 2 miles
61 heavy low and
from Avenel.
2 arrival, the altimeter 2983 now.
And it'll get a little bit more visually interesting here in just a little bit. We're just about to the, well, I shouldn't say just about, it's going to be a while yet, but start to hit that LA area. Pick up some good looking night lighting.
Maintain the cruise walk. United 9 726 contact.
Alright, mile and a half-ish. Since we don't really have to change our heading a whole heck of a lot. Yeah, there we go. So we'll lock the heading in. We will dial up Gorman, which again was 1610.
Center UPS 961, flight 350.
No, we won't dial in Gorman at 1610 because we can't pick it up just yet. So we'll put it in nav 2 though. And we will have to fly the outbound here.
2903, descend via the arrival UPS 961.
Nudge that over just slightly. We're a little left, of course. It won't go too crazy. Alright, I'm going to go make a quick snack run. I'll be right back with you. Check in with center first. And Center United 284.
Back 284, right?
Yes, sir. Just permission to step away for about 3 minutes.
Okay. Delta 2296, contact sub-town approach 124.5.
I go 2296 into that SD for 30 minutes.
LA Center, Southwest 1941 with you, 11,000 for 13,000.
That was 1941, good evening, contact Jane 5360.
Up to 360, that's 1941.
Delta 2296, can you send me that text, please?
Alaska 515, contact Oakland, will sponsor 13212.
Alaska 515, contact Oakland Center today.
Delta 2296, there's no flight on that. It's all normal approach.
Contact SoCal approach 12.5, please.
Delta 2296, 124.050. No one is on it. November 1021 checking in.
Southwest 5411, contact SoCal 127.0. Good evening.
270, Southwest 5411, good.
November 1021 checking in.
Number 1021, what's your position?
At Santa Barbara Municipal Airport, holding short of 25.
Say again? Is that Santa Barbara?
Number 1021, that is correct. Santa Barbara Municipal Airport, holding short, runway 25.
1021, and what's your request? What would you like to do?
Fly to Los Angeles International Airport via filed flight plan FNO 150.
Alright, number 1021, you cleared Los Angeles via radar vectors Ventura Tango uniform direct, maintain 5,000, squawk 7122.
LA Center, November 3280, Papa with you, climbing 5006.
November 1021, clear to Ventura, then direct to Los Angeles, maintain 5,000, squawk 7122.
1021, that's Ventura, direct Los Angeles.
Just had a handoff there.
Correct, runway 25, line and wait. Santa Barbara's altimeter 29.82.
Number 1021, line up and wait, runway 25.
Los Angeles Center, good evening, American 2789 is City Parking, Carnival 3, 10 for Carnival 320.
Thank you, 2789, Roger, stand by. Southwest 280, contact Los Angeles Center 119.95.
11995, Southwest 280.
Right, 2789, climb maintain, follow 320.
320, American 2789.
And Center United 284, back on frequency.
Thank you.
And, more importantly, with Cobbler.
Greener 216, look at this down on the Quebec side.
Okay, 216 heavy, okay. Descend on the Quebec 6 arrival, let's publish the altimeter 29.86.
Alright, send me the Quebec 6 generate 6, Greener 216.
GPS 9867 heavy, I think I missed you previously. I was looking at another aircraft, squawk 7115.
Alright, kind of the second half of the event here, and I'm noticing that Lindbergh is down under 50 arrivals now, which is good. But still, when you take into account one runway, you might as well say 22 plus 45 is, 67
You send me the Quality 2 arrival. The Los
complete
Angeles
total
altimeter
traffic,
is currently
however you want to call that.
29.83.
But I'm not seeing any holding patterns anywhere, so that's good.
I
don't know about Ontario. They're fairly busy too, with 38 departures and arrivals combined. We're still plugging along up here in Northern California.
Number 1021, turn left heading 090, left turn 090 departure. Biggest column number 257.
We are in between Avenel right here and Gorman down here. This is a, I don't know why I have World VFR selected. This is a leg of 75 miles. We currently are tracking the outbound, and we're 20
Yes, sir. That takeoff from the
Almost
25.
24 miles, but it looks like we maybe have Gorman finally active.
Number
So
102, taking off runway 25.
16-1, let's see. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So we were supposed to be on 116, which is not what I have tuned right now, so that's not good. 116, so 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Alright, right there. We'll nav lock onto Gorman. And we'll be ready. We're picking up a little bit of scenery, city light scenery here and there. As we get further south, obviously more populated areas. And just a little bit under 48 miles into Gorman.
And 1021, Beta contact count.
Number 1021, can you repeat that?
Radar contact.
Yeah, not a lot of fun probably to watch on the stream. I wrestle every time
1,000 feet.
with that. Do I use
So
regular
radar contact, number 102, radar contact,
real time, or do I
100,
set it to daylight?
Fed to Ventura, Victor Tango uniform, resume on navigation.
I don't know. I like flying at night.
Number 1021,
I think it looks cool, but I do also understand it doesn't always translate very well to a stream. But I think it's going to look pretty cool coming into Lindbergh, so I went ahead and stuck with it today. I guess you can tell me how it looks. Yeah, and I actually felt that way with P3D 4.4. I thought they really overdid they made it way too dark, and it was really not, it was no fun at all. You would hardly see this kind of stuff. But 4.5 I feel is a little bit better. It's still dark, but I feel like you can at least see a little bit. The other thing about 4.5 is I think that like the taxi lights and the landing lights and stuff are a little bit brighter. Again, I have no way of knowing how accurate that is. I'd have to hear from a real world pilot, but from a sim perspective, it looks a lot better. I've always enjoyed flying at night. I don't know why. So my normal days are Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Today just happened to be a bonus day. This time of year, a lot of times I work Friday nights. I'm a school principal, and so whenever the high school team has a home game, I try to go help the spotter for a friend of mine that is the play-by-play, well, not the play-by-play guy, but the announcer. So once football's over, though, I may add Friday nights back to the normal lineup, because I do really enjoy FNO. But so normally, at least for now, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. And not sure how familiar. I know you've been by a few times, Speedbird, but it's just kind of a variety channel. I tend to lean towards the vintage aircraft. I really do also like bush flying, and but every so often I'll hop into a more modern bird. I've got the Phenom 300 that I fly from time to time when I just am feeling too good about my skills and want to make a fool out of myself. But no, it's a fun plane. I have a couple different versions of the 737. I've got the NGX from PMDG. That's probably the next most modern aircraft I have. Well, I take that back. I'm going to attempt to learn my first Airbus. I actually acquired an A320, and so I'm gonna see if I can figure that thing out. But the main thing is, for me, is I just try to do something different every time I fly. So you won't see the DC-3 again for a while. I just kind of cycle through. Normally I just pick the VATSIM events, and because I know I'm going to get good air traffic and we're going to get good controllers, and so I try to pick the plane based on the situation as far as that goes. So like tomorrow night, my normal stream night, they've got an event down in Hawaii, and I actually think it's a bit of a, like they're hoping that you'll go from LA or San Francisco and fly into, you know, maybe Honolulu or something like that. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to go, I installed a scenery pack a while back, and I've got like 15 small airports that I like to check out. I haven't actually flown into all of them, so it's a good excuse for me to go down there and try to hit a few of those as well.
Southwest 20, contact SoCal, approach 12710.
Yeah, and I enjoy watching those guys that do the bigger planes, but I don't know, maybe it's just me getting a little older and appreciating vintage things. I don't really consider myself vintage per se, but I do think it's cool to be able to appreciate the history of some of this old school navigation. And I mean, let's face facts here, Speedbird. There's not a lot of guys that can look at this panel in the flight sim world and know what it is that we're looking at. I think that's kind of cool. I follow a guy on Twitch named Dane Flats, and he'll say all the time, this separates the men from the boys, and I feel like that does apply to this type of aircraft. And even though I do have a version of this plane with a glass, well, not a total glass panel, but has a modern, like I think a GNS 350 or something in it, I like this better just because it's just different. And so I mean, I don't know, but
Cupid 61.
hey, downwind.
Heavy contact.
I'm telling you what, man. I'm calling that Papa Sim 1.0. That's what we've been doing lately, and I love it. The cool thing about that picture is that it's not been me trying to force it on him. He is just totally right now in kind of in airplane mode, and so he is a kick in the butt. I tell you what. How'd your daughter do? How'd the band do?
It's 9867 heavy contact, SoCal approach 124.0. Well,
And
sorry,
Speedbird, it's still a fun plane to fly, right? I mean, it's not like you would not fly it, but when given a choice, and part of it too, I think for me, I keep going back to the fact that I really truly do have adult ADHD. I cannot focus. Downwind Sim can attest to this. I get distracted by the smallest things, and for me to focus, I mean, this is going to be almost a 3-hour flight by the time I'm done. If I don't have waypoints to tune and radials to capture and all that stuff, I can't. I mean, it's cool to plug in a flight route and execute it and watch all that, but for me, I just find it much more interesting to fly this way.
Taps 1941, contact open 132.2, good evening.
Yeah, and I mean,
Southwest 1941, thanks.
there's a certain, I think, certain satisfaction to that, and I shouldn't bust on that because I do that when I'm in the L1011. You have to, you plug all your waypoints into the INS, and you do all that good stuff, and so there is a little bit of a like that does appeal to me on certain flights. I love to get into SimBrief and check out the best route and all this and that, and get all the waypoints figured out. But yeah, with the more modern the plane, the less you're really doing by design as you're flying the majority of your route. And so when it comes to that, what you'll find, at least with what I try to do, is if I've got, if I'm flying the PMDG 7378 or 900, I'm probably keeping my flights to 2 hours max, because there's just not, I'm not entertaining enough to to keep your attention, or my own attention for that matter, for that long without flipping around and looking at sky vector and stuff like that. So downwind, the flight's actually going very, very well, and we are, downwind considers this cheating, by the way, but don't hold it against me. We're right here, so we have made it, we're more than halfway from San Diego, and we're just about to get to where I think it's going to get pretty fun. First of all, we're going to have a lot of scenery, a lot of night lighting that we'll see. Secondly, we're going to have a bunch of traffic in and out of here, and then third, obviously, we're going to have to try to navigate this approach into Lindbergh, which has 23 departures and 37 arrivals, again, all on the same runway. So 60 planes that they're trying to navigate right now. Still a very busy airspace, and props for Denver hanging in there. And look, Minneapolis St. Paul jumping online. Wonder if that's Ground Point Niner that's doing his thing. Yep, Andrew James Doubleday, the well-known Ground Point Niner. So that's pretty dang cool. Speedbird flies the Dash 8 and the Embraer. Yeah, those FMCs, but and the Dash 8, from what I've been told, it's another plane on my would love to get it list, but that has the modern FMC, but it lacks things like auto throttle and VNAV and stuff like that. So you still have some things that you have to manage, which is cool. Yeah, downwind is kind of with me. If he's in a tube, it's under 2 hours, And
1916 oil maintain.
yeah, by the time you get up, because there is plenty to do. I mean, it's not like there's nothing to do. You're calculating fuel. You're making sure you're where you're supposed to be. You're still monitoring systems, and you're checking ATIS and planning your approach and all that stuff. So it's not like you're not doing stuff, but clearly it's not quite the same as when you're doing what we're trying to do here. So speaking of doing what we're trying to do here, we are now just a little over 10 miles from our next waypoint, Gorman. So let's go ahead and take a peek here and look what our next leg is going to be. Here is Gorman. We're going to turn on a 142 outbound radial, and now we're heading down there. I think this is LAX. Yep. So we're going to have the LAX VOR 113.6 that will tune in here. We'll probably track Gorman outbound for a little while, 56 nautical miles. I'm not sure how soon we'll be able to pick up that LA. Yeah, the panel lighting, this is actually improved from 4.4 to 4.5 in P3D. And I'll give credit to the Manfred John and Jan Visser team. They keep working on this. It's kind of like a little labor of love, and they'll toss out updates here and there, and kind of under the tables sorts of things. Like this wasn't an advertised lighting update, but they not only updated the lighting, but they updated a little bit of the panel up here. And it was just when I did a fresh reinstall, when I upgraded to 4.5, I just noticed some of the things just looked a little bit better, a little sharper, and so that was kind of cool, I thought. All right, but they're down when sim goes, distracting me again. I need to set this course. 142 is going to be the outbound heading. We will 13.6. I'm going to set that in COM 2 here, or nav 2. And who knows? We might be picking this VOR up. Yep, it's active. It's live. So
Dragon 2789, contact.
as soon as we get turned on our
1.2, upgrade me.
heading, we're going to go ahead and tune it into nav 1. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. It's kind of cool. Obviously nothing back here really simulated, except for some reason this little blue, I don't know what that is exactly. It's simulated. And then if I turn from the first officer seat, there's not much really going on. But yeah, it's like a little bit of a like a phosphorescent type. Yeah. Definitely does have that military vibe, you're right. So just again, one of the details that they've done a really nice job of, it's just a payware quality at X-plane prices. See if downwind even caught that little barb, little X-plane barb. Yeah. And you see that more obviously in the daytime, and I like that too, the cracking of the wear and tear of the leather and things like that. The panel is all scarred up, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Just waiting for our VOR to cancel out for us to be too much over the top of it. And we'll turn on our heading. There we go. Alright, so turn right 142. We will go ahead. We will tune in LAX 1360. Oops, a little too far. Alright, that's alive. We'll spin this guy around to that 142 outbound heading. See how close we are. There's 41.2. Not too bad. LAX, nav lock engaged. And yeah, 55 or so miles. It'll make a slight adjustment to get on that outbound, and then we'll be rocking and rolling. Do you have which 7.4 do you have there, Speedbird? Did you break down and buy the PMDG, Queen of the Skies? Alright, well, here we go. A little bit of scenery from, boy, who knows here where we're at exactly. I don't know this part of the country very well. I think that's a dam, actually, that's kind of not blacked out like it should be. We're near Lake Hughes, so I am guessing that this is the Lancaster Riverside kind of area. Lake Palmdale, I think, maybe is the name of the town, so that's coming right up. And then down here in the distance is Los Angeles proper here. We'll be hitting that in no time at all. Yeah, very nice. I think there's really no other way that you can go with the plane as iconic as the 747. I just think you have to spend the money. You have to understand the investment that you're making, and the fact that you're going to get every penny out of that plane. And yeah, it's never been one on my necessarily my wish list, but it's I certainly don't blame anybody for wanting to fly it. And when it came out, it was no shock. It was definitely a flight sim community favorite, because that's all you saw for the first month or so after it came out. 7.4s all over the place. I don't have my scenery set to render too far out. I don't know what the radius is, but like only about 20 miles, just because it does tend to lag me a little bit if I go more than that, especially down here where there's lots and lots of lights.
November 1021, contact SoCal approach 124.5.
Oh man, well, yeah.
United 2744, we are climbing to 2000 on headed of a 250.
That's too bad, Speedbird, because
2744, hello, time maintain follow 360, and
you know what you've got sitting in the hangar,
audio.
but you just can't quite get it out.
Basic Rail and Zach Nadia for United 2744.
Audio.
Yes, I got you.
Elliott Center, Southwest 36, K, 50360.
1368 LA Center. Good evening. Maintain pilot 360, zoom on navigation.
On your navigation and 73068.
Starting to wonder if I'm going to get handed off here to some of these approaches. I'm only at 11,000 feet. I'm curious. I need to know from an air traffic guy what they do with an old slow, low and slow Goonie bird like what we have right now, but we're getting there. 38 miles from LAX. We should see that here at our 12 o'clock here pretty soon. Oh man, that's cool. That's not too bad. January 1st. Yeah, I'm kind of, so I was lucky in this summer I was able to actually inherited my son's PC, which it was a semi new PC. I think about a year old is all. It was definitely not built to be a gaming PC. It was built
United 284 contact, SoCal approach 124.5.
2450 for United 284. See it. That answers that question. 2450. SoCal approach. Good evening, United 284, 11,000, 35 miles north of LA.
United 284 SoCal. Altimeter correction, Burbank, altimeter 2983.
2983, United 284. But anyway, what I was saying, Speedward, is I was able to actually upgrade, even though it was not a brand spanking gaming PC. It was definitely an upgrade from my old PC that I had, which was closing in on 10 years old. But I'm still finding that there are a few things that I need to upgrade. I need a bigger hard drive. I know Al South was looking at picking himself up potentially an external hard drive, like it's something crazy like 8 terabyte. But I also I'm actually in between, and I talked to Downwind a little bit about this. I have a workable system right now, and that's the first thing I want to say is I don't want to be Mr. I need more, because what I have right now is working very well and works a lot better than what I had. But at some point in time, I'm going to want to upgrade, just because of the nature of flight sim. It just, every update comes out and requires more from your machine. So I'm juggling between, do I upgrade my GPU or my CPU, which comes first? And Downwind had recommended at least from an X-plane perspective that it's very processor based, and so yeah, I don't know exactly what it is I'm going to do, but those will be in the near future. Those three things.
Premier 119er, Silver.
Premier 119er, where are you at? All right, well, that's good to know, Speedbird. And yeah, I would have never, you know, I made some videos before on my YouTube channel, but I never streamed just because it was, yeah, as I freeze up. I think I'm loading into LA airport. But anyway, I never dared to stream, and I never dared to stream at night. Now I can do that. Again, it looks halfway decent. There's some traffic. I thought we'd see a little bit more of that here as we get closer to LA. So yeah, I'm thankful for what I have. There's no doubt about it, and I try to remind myself that I need to be thankful for what I have, because you'll never have enough. I mean, just when you think you do, there'll be an update, and you won't. So you know, it is what it is. But so good luck to you in your PC build. I'm sure you'll have fun. It'll be really nice. It'll be like Christmas all over again, man. When you can roll that big queen down the runway and get her up in the air and have some fun with it. I think I see LAX over here. Yeah, 25 miles away. Looking pretty good so far. By the way, when we get to LA, we are going to be turning here on a... Oh, what are we turning? We're not following the Victor here, are we? Nope, I need to do this. World low. No, we're not following the Victor because we're coming up here. We're actually going to jump on the approach, aren't we? The Hubbard 1 approach. Let's look at that just to make sure. I filed it, but I better... Okay, yeah. I can't do an RNAV. Alright, so LAX will be heading out here 118. We'll hit Otis, we'll hit Hubbard, we'll hit Cardi. 70-mile leg here to Cardi. And we need to be below 15,000 at Cardi, which is not a problem for us because we currently are at 11,000. So that'll be our next leg. We'll just have to track LA outbound. So we'll leave 113.6 in the nav, and we will spin our heading to 118. Spin our radial to 118, I should say. Track that out. Oh yeah, with Speedbird, you're right. With Flight Sim 2020 coming out, holy guacamole! What are you gonna need? You're gonna need a stinking NASA computer.
Okay, 119.60, you say?
Yes, 19.6.
19.6, roger, for here, Alaska 423. Okay, first up, this is 302 level 10,000.
Master calling Stockholm, please.
Level 683 is 3 level 10,000.
Okay, fantastic. 33, stop approach. John Wayne, altimeter 298, to expect the visual, runway 24 right approach.
Alright, that's a 248, that's 33. This is Southwest 263, we have a request 25 left.
Yep, definitely LAX right there.
Hello, 33, expect visual, runway 25 approach.
We should see some pretty cool, hopefully some arrivals coming in here.
SoCal approach, November 709er Papa Lima with you at 3000, heading
Just kind of taking a look here at LA. There are 14 arrivals, 18 departures currently, so we should,
Number 1021, SoCal approach, hello.
like I say, should have some traffic. We'll kind of keep our eyes peeled here. I only have seen the one airplane so far.
We're looking to make a landing back in Los Angeles, and
Premier 19 contact LA Center on 132.15, 3215.
Mention 2005 for Premier 119, thanks. November 1021.
Well, you would hope, Speedbird, honestly. I do think P3D took a lot of heat for how similar it is to FSX. But with the ability to utilize the 64-bit platform, it really, in almost every way, it's a completely different sim. It does look similar, there's no doubt about it, which isn't bad. I didn't mind the look and feel of FSX personally, and I've really appreciated the fact that almost every single one of my sceneries and other add-ons, aircraft essentially, have were able to port directly over from FSX. I'm getting some stutters here now, guys. I'm getting a little bit nervous, but it's just loading in all this cityscape and LAX, and I'm sure there's traffic that is trying to render as well and all that good stuff. But anyway, at the end of the day, the only two things that didn't come straight over that I had to repurchase were the Active Sky and my PMDG 737. I had to repurchase both of those things for P3D, but everything else came over. I had 3 or 4 airplanes. I had, 7 or 8 sceneries, not a bunch, but a few things. I had the ENV suite, and yeah, so that was nice. Yeah, and Speedbird, honestly, I think if I would have had this current machine, I would have continued using FSX, because I didn't really have a ton of problems either. But it was a good excuse to move over to a 64-bit platform and kind of get a feel for that. And I think it was a good move for me. I know that I wrestled a lot with X-Plane 11, and would that be the better way to go? Was it a good time to do that? I just wasn't quite ready to make that jump. There's still a few things that are missing in X-Plane that felt like were important enough to just give it a little bit of time, a little more time. It's a cool looking sim though, and Downwind Sim continues to basically cyberbully me until I'm going to purchase it. So, all right, back to the flight at hand. Under 8 miles, you can see LAX right there. There is a plane that's probably down closer to either Ontario or San Diego. There's I thought that was an arriving plane, but it's not. Kind of bummed we haven't seen more traffic here. I was looking forward to that. Alright, so back to business. We said 118 is our outbound radio. So we'll spin this down right now, get it ready, and We are going to leave LAX 13.6 in the nav radio. We're going to track it outbound. Yeah, no arrivals, unfortunately. Darn it. There might be some departures taking off underneath us, but we wouldn't see it.
119.95. Delta 683 depart, Steel Beach, heading 320. 320 left, Steel Beach, Delta 683.
Yeah, absolutely. It has to stop and load in and render, and if I flew down here more often, I'd probably turn off the detail. Orbix has a nightlight generator that kind of helps out with this as well, so but I don't really run into the frame rate issues very often, because where I fly, not too many big cities up in the backcountry, so that's all right. The other thing that'll chop me up a little bit here frame rate wise is when I hit some weather. That probably gets me more than anything, is just the weather. So there's where I feel it. When you're talking about, you know, upgrading your processor or your graphics card, the weather is one I really wish. So this
284, LAX altimeter 2983.
2983, United 284. I think that's what I have it set at. So this, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Speedbird, this rendering stutter, this is a graphics card issue, not a processor issue. Am I correct in assuming that? Yeah, Active Sky can just kick your tail. I still love it. Alright, so we are on the Hubbard 1 arrival now officially, tracking 118 outbound, and we're going to spin this guy to attempt to keep it in that neighborhood. Well, that's about 118. I actually am going to come around a little bit more. Yeah, you know, Speedbird, I probably could. I don't know exactly. I don't remember what the settings are right now, but downwind sim's expecting butter. Yeah, it is what it is. Right at this point in time, though, again, I'm just trying to. When I have a sim stutter, I just want to diagnose whether it's a graphics card issue or a processor issue. Yeah, so you're voting processor also. Yeah, I just need to figure out, which I think is, that's a better problem to have initially, because I think you can pick up a beefier processor cheaper than you can a high performance graphics card. I do think though that Downwind Sim talked about sponsoring me, so I'm still holding out for that. something like donating 20% of his binocular sales or something to that in the month of October. Can't quite be 100% sure. I would look this stuff up, but I need to actually focus a little bit here.
Delta 683, turn left, heading to...
So back to business again, just to kind of keep fresh in my mind the approach here. This is a 70-mile stretch. It passes Otis, it passes Hubbard, it passes into Carty. We need to be below 15,000, which again is not a problem for us. Then we turn 140, we track Mission Bay. And at Mission Bay, that's when we'll get our vector, I'm assuming.
American 34, contact LA enter on 132.15, 32 is
32.
51 for American 2834.
Oh, I heard 8.
American 2834, 21.
2834. I'm 284. Whoa, okay.
I
thought he was handing me back off to center, which I thought was a little strange, although maybe not once I get through the LA sort of class Bravo. That might be what happens. Kind of thinking though that I'll probably get one of the other San Diego approaches, SoCal approach, I think is what they still call them. But 20% of your multi-million-dollar corporation, your multi-million-dollar binocular corporation, that's pretty good, man. I think. Alright, I've overcorrected a little bit for my outbound radio, so I'm going to come back to 120. As you can see, I'm just a little bit left of course here, a little bit east of course. Wonder how things are looking behind me. Hard to tell, there's the plane. Bunch of airports around here though, isn't that crazy? What's the nickname that they have for the little spot you can sometimes get cleared to through the LA Bravo airspace? Do you remember that?
And we have a track, United 1613.
You're flying VFR.
And 1613, thank you. 284, then Wayne, altimeter 2982.
2982, United 284. Alright, slowly dropping on us here. Are we getting some weather as we roll into San Diego? I thought the weather was always beautiful down here in SoCal.
You have 1613, contact Play Tower on 120.95.
Go to tower, United 1613,
The spirit of giving here on the Melvin Leroy stream tonight. I love it. That wind is obviously coming off the coast, and so it's not surprising it's pushing me to the left. So I'm gonna, to hold the 118, I'm gonna have to be crabbing into it a little bit here. Active sky, what are you telling me? What is my current condition here? Winds 290 at 9, so not super gusty. Of course, I'm at 11,000, so it's more like 17 knots. So yeah, that's enough to push a Dakota around just a little bit.
Cyber 90, Zoco.
Well, we will be, without a doubt, landing on runway 27.
328 Papa.
I actually can go grab probably. Let me see if the ATIS is here. Yes, it is. Lindbergh ATIS. Let me read it off to you. We have information Gulf.
030.
Type this notes over here as well. 2905. Good visibility. A few clouds at 2,500. Yep, I can see kind of some build up here. So altimeter 2987. Localizer, RNAV, and visual approaches. Landing and departing runway 27. So downwind, we're heading into Lindbergh Field, San Diego.
Stand by. 280, Sierra Papa.
That one's wanting to sneak back into me a little bit here. Again, if you recall, that Hubbard arrival, and I don't, that's why I'm going to pull it back up. It's a 70 mile or so.
Airport in sight, November 328 Papa.
Yes, 70 miles. If we wanted to, if we lost LA, we could tune in Santa Catalina, which I think is where our friend downwind or Slant Alpha is going to be trying to fly into. Yeah, just over the buildings. Yeah, it's kind of a famous approach. Should be fun.
5,000 on the Armin 2.
Person, my bad. American 700, Circle departure. Radar contact, line 110-1, 3,000.
Alright, sorry about that. Just had a little text message come across here.
American 700, line 110-1, 3,000.
Yeah, that's looking pretty sweet.
Copy, we'll climb 871 700, we just
Sometimes get a little bit of a silhouette.
31, circle approach, expect the visual runway 25 left approach.
That looks pretty cool.
Alright, looks like the visual approach about the left. You know, that sounds good.
Oh yeah, Brazil, Rio. That'd be a fun area to fly in. Starting to get a little bit of the yawns going on here, guys. Must be end of the week or something. All right, 30 miles. We should be basically just about halfway, I guess.
1705, runway 21, clear ground.
Clear land, runway 21, Sierra Papa.
That's when it gets fun, isn't it? Speedbird is when you can get together with some friends and yeah, fly around, see what there is to see. Puts a little bit of pressure on you to try to stick the landing and all that good stuff. Fly with Downwind Sim, he gives you free landing lessons. It's kind of cool to watch. I tell you what, Fellas, we're getting close. We are getting close.
Sounds
Let me see. I have a scenery that you might want to check out. Let me see if I can find it here. It's not. It's a South American scenery. It's not in the. Not in the Rio, Brazil area, but it's one of the cooler sceneries I found. See if I can find it here real fast. It's free and nice quality. Alright, so it is we're getting close. So if you, I don't know if you have this yet or not, but if you look up it's the I don't know, I'm not going to say this correctly. I'll just type it out here. So there's the name of the airport, Mariscal Lamar. And the producer, the scenery developer is Otavio Bonami. Anyway, it's like I say, a free download and a really cool little airport that's tucked in. I think it's clear down on the southwest coast somewhere, but it's like tucked in the mountains. It's got a scenery, cityscape that's right. It's right in there, and okay. I'm a Scandinavian myself, so I struggle if it's not Hafthor Bjornsson or Vanden Heugenbond or something like that myself. But yeah, since you and I, Speedbird, are the only two guys left not flying X-plane, I thought I would just go ahead and share that little nugget of information there. Hey, we're about to 40. So that puts us about 30 from Hubbard. 17.8 is our next VOR, so let's put that in nav 2. Let's spin that the right way here, that will help. Alright, that's alive. 140, by the way, just might as well, just in case we need it, you never know. We're going to track outbound on a 140. Yeah, it's pretty doggone close. Speedbird, you have to be careful who you hang out with. Downwind Sim is one of those guys. He doesn't take no for an answer. You didn't tell me how the band performed, by the way, Downwind. How'd it go? What's she play, by the way?
QL 531, airfield 1 o'clock, 9 miles with airfield inside.
We got the airfield 39, 531.
531, clear beach on runway 25 left approach.
Clear visual 25 left, yeah, 531.
The band wins every game. So I don't know if I told you this, but we had something kind of cool happen at our high school game. Their first home game this year. The University of Wyoming has a really good marching band that's called Western Thunder, and they actually traveled up from Laramie.
284 contact, so approach 119.6, 19.6.
119.6, I believe you said, for your United 284?
United 284, that's correct. 119.60.
1960. Have a great night, man. We'll see you next time. 284. Let me get checked in here. Double check my ATIS is still correct. It's Gulf. It is. Okay. And SoCal approach. Good evening, United 284, 11,000. Information Gulf. We're on the Hubbard 1 arrival.
United 284, SoCal approach. Thanks for Gulf. Expect vectors visual approach runway 27.
Vectors visual runway 27, United 284. So anyway, downwind, the band from the university, and of course Wyoming has only one university, so that makes it even a bigger deal. But they traveled up, 4 hours up to our little town, and they actually they played before the game and at halftime, and our little small town has a pretty good band for the state of Wyoming. They've been highly recognized, and every year their state competition, they're superior or whatever the high rank is. So they really have a nice tradition and a very nice program set up. But those kids were just, it was like you would have thought the Beatles had come, or whatever, whatever huge music rock stars. They were just in awe of these guys. It was so cool. We had a great crowd, and of course with those guys, they were dancing with the cheerleaders and dancing with our pep band, and they stood kind of out in front of where the pep band was on the track. It was really a cool deal. So I'm with you, man. The band is undefeated, and they just bring something to high school football, college football obviously as well, but they just bring something to high school football that is fantastic. So Speedbird, no, I was not born in Scandinavia. I'm a third generation American, and that's just where both of one side of my family, my father's side came from Sweden, and my mother's side came from Norway, and so that's just kind of my ancestral roots. Never been there. Would love to travel someday back there and see the fjords and just visit that country. I think it'd be awesome. But yeah, I'm just another American mutt, basically. A mixed breed of all kinds of things.
Number 895 heavy, SoCal departure, rate contact.
All right, well, we've got 15 miles, so I have still a little bit of time to brief the approach. The arrival, we still have a little bit of time, so let's take a quick look here. Even though we'll be visual, I always like to tune in if I can. ILS 27, so I will need 110.9 and an approach course of 275. I don't know that I'll use those, but it's nice to have them just in case.
Southwest 1770, contact approach 127.
Go back to the arrival now, and
Over to SoCal approach up 27 decimal 0. So long. Southwest 1770.
oh, that's interesting. I figured the musical tradition that you guys have in Scotland, man, it's pretty rich also. I would have thought there'd be some sort of arrangements playing at your at your high school and college sporting events.
United 284 to center main 6,000.
6,000 United 284. All right, on our way down, passengers, ladies and gentlemen, we will monitor our speed here as we begin our descent. Let's just double check here. This isn't until the approach that I have to do all this good stuff, so we'll just hang tight on that. We are going to be below 10,000, so we will turn on the landing lights. And it was altimeter 2987, so we'll go ahead and just put that in. Scotland actually is another place I'd like to visit. I would really like to just see that whole area. I'm not very well traveled, I will admit. Maybe that's one of the appeals of flight sim. You can go wherever you want. Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe so. I never thought about it, I guess. Different places do things differently. I think that's awesome. 64. So once again, once we get to 70 here, which is not too far, we're going to tune in Mission Bay. We're actually going to turn 140. Tune in Mission Bay. We have not been given any kind of vector. We've just been given a descent clearance. So we need to stay on the arrival until we're told differently. So I'm about ready to spin this guy to 140 here in about another 4 miles. Just out of curiosity, Speedbird, what sort of athletics do high school kids play over in Scotland?
So now FedEx 1987 heavy traffic, 12 o'clock, 13 miles opposite direction. A Boeing 737 at 8,000 appears to be not communicating.
Keep in mind, FedEx 1987, we don't have them in sight.
Alright, another 2 miles. Make that turn.
FedEx 1987 heavy traffic is 12 o'clock and 9 miles. Appears to be northbound and a right turn. FedEx SoCal approach 124.35.
3435, FedEx 1987.
Getting there.
Approach information, Gulf is current, descend via Thomas to arrival. Spec vector approach runway 27.
Alright, that's pretty close. Go 140. We will spin in the Mission Bay 117.8.
Number 2992 Alpha, SoCal approach, radar contact, alignment maintain.
Alright, very cool. 140. We need that to be our inbound radial, so let's come around. Bring it around town, as SpongeBob would say.
95 heavy contact
We're nav locked, and this will be our final 20 miles or so to Mission Bay, and then we will get our vectors for the visual. As you can see, there we have some business here. This is we expect this to be down to 2,500 according to the ATIS.
Number 902 Alpha, common maintains 5,000, and you can turn right direct hand.
Just out of curiosity, in case you're wondering, right now, Lindbergh Field, 26 departures, 28 arrivals, and ATC, if you're watching, thanks for letting me sneak this old bird in there. I greatly appreciate it. We're heading down to 5,000. Sorry, 6,000. It's set. We're 6,400. We'll be leveling it off here.
First main 2647.
United 2647, roger, thanks.
Someday I need to visit, Speedbird. I need to visit. I want to drink a right, proper, dark Scottish ale. I'm a big dark beer fan. Alright, speed's picked up a little bit here, as you might expect. We certainly don't need to be getting crazy with our speed, though. Let's pull the manifold pressure back.
2647, contact Cal approach 123, correction 124.35.
Flap speed there is 150, so let's keep it in that range. Alright, we're level at 6.
United 2647, 8
15 miles from Mission Bay. And then we make that turn. Expect vector to final approach course. Alright. I think I see our airfield. There's a little bit of traffic that just blinked in our 12 o'clock. Alright, speed's coming back down now, thank goodness. 32 and 22 is where we're keeping it.
November 902 Alpha, traffic 12 to 1 o'clock, 11 miles, opposite direction.
Ooh,
This is DC-3 at 6.
Scottish whiskey. Yep.
Opposite direction, DC-3 6000, 2992 Alpha.
It's not like ale, but Scotch ale is my favorite genre
traffic
of
12
beer.
to 1 o'clock, 10 miles, opposite direction.
See 'em.
PA32 at 5,000.
And we have the traffic United 284. So that's why I've always like I can almost guarantee you the Scotch ales that they make in the United States are a shadow of, I mean, pale in comparison. But again, downwind sim, I'll pick you up on the way to the airport. Okay, speed's back down to a normal sort of 140-ish, which is what we need. A little bit of a scenery stutter there. There's my traffic heading in the opposite direction. There's some more departing traffic. Alright, that looks pretty cool, guys. This is the kind of thing that's just still, even after...
For traffic 12 to 1 o'clock in 8 miles, same direction, is a PA32 at 5,000.
We got traffic inside, now it's ready for.
Yep, he's seeing... Whoa, wait a second. He just called for me. Is there another United 284 that I don't know about? I think he was talking to that guy who was telling him to watch out for that traffic that we saw right there. Okay, well, we're good. We see him.
Can you give me radar vectors for the final approach? Because I need vehicle instruments aren't working.
That's not good.
United 284, turn left at 090, contact SoCal approach 124.35.
090 and over to approach 2435, 9284. Alrighty.
0 Lima Delta, are you looking for Montgomery?
Yeah, I'll pick
24,
headings and altitudes.
35. make that turn here, buddy. Alright, 2435. There we go. SoCal approach, good evening, United 284 at 6,000.
United 284, SoCal approach, hello, third altimeter 298. Fly heading 0905 and descend to maintain 5,000.
0905 and down to 5,000, United 284. Alright, so 0905 down to 5,000.
China Eastern 7173, contact to Lindbergh Tower 118.3.
Alright, so it's 110.9 for the nav. Again, we're just going to tune in the ILS just in case we need it for some reason, whatever reason that would be. And an approach course of 275. We are going to be, well, we're cleared for the visual approach, so I'm not anticipating that we're going to use this, but I don't mind having it tuned in just in case. There's our San Diego, sort of downtown, and our airport's kind of slowly coming in right there. Doesn't look very good right now because the lights aren't all, the little lights aren't twinkling, Clark, but it'll look pretty amazing when we make that that turn to final, I promise. Maybe that's it.
47, turn right heading 180.
It's in this area somewhere, guys, I promise you. Alright, here comes some traffic as well. We need to be mindful of all that stuff as we approach. We want to keep our speed. I mean, we need to be manageable for ourselves, but we can't be you know, crawling in there at 95 knots either. With this amount of traffic, we still have to keep the speed up as best we can. And this plane slows down fairly quickly too, so you can afford to be, you know, you can afford to be coming in a little bit hot. You drop those flaps and it'll slow you down. We basically are on that downwind right now, and I think if I had to guess, I would say he's going to try to get this guy in. He looks like he's moving pretty good. Get him in ahead of us. I don't know who that is or what they're flying, but that looks like it's buzzing along there pretty well. There's somebody else on approach.
United 26, 47, 8 miles from Vida. Turn right heading 240. Maintain 5,000 till established. Cleared live the runway 27 approach.
Turn right 240. We'll maintain.
Right,
oh, jeez. Is that 284?
Right 240. Hold 5,000 till established. Cleared ILS. The localizer 7 next.
I thought he said 284. And my apologies. I thought that was for United 284.
No problem. You caught your mistake.
Yeah, I heard. I don't know what I heard. That was me just being over anxious. Welcome, San Diego approach. Thanks for being patient. Thanks for, like I said a little bit ago, I don't know if you were on or not, but appreciate you letting me sneak this old girl into a Friday night. It's been a ton of fun. Yep, there we go, guys. This is what we're shooting for in this area here. The airport, though, is just still not. The downtown area looks good, but the airport itself is not yet popping up. So, well, that's maybe because, I don't know. This guy here, maybe.
United 284, you can expect a localizer for 27 approach.
Localizer 27 for United 284. Alright, well, I'm glad we plugged that in because that's what we need then as far as frequency and approach course. We can also brief the missed approach then, climb to 2,500 on runway heading essentially 275, and then we head back to actually no, we'll tune the Mission Bay VORTAC in and we'll intercept the 255 radial at the Cade intersection, which is 12.3 DME, and we'll hold out there. So basically straight ahead till we intercept the 255 radial. This is what it looks like on the chart. Come in like so. If we miss it, we'll just stay on runway heading. We'll climb 2,500. We'll tune this VOR in real quickly. We'll spin it to 255, and when we intercept right there, that's Cade, and we'll hold. We'll enter a right hand.
2647, contact Lindbergh Tower 118.3. See you later.
18.3, United 26%. Okay, thanks for the.
There he goes. We're going to be following him. Should be fun. Should be fun. So we're at 5,000. We can kind of expect that. Well, we stepped on the dude that actually got the clearance for the approach. We'll spin ourselves around and maintain 5,000 till established. That's only the first guy I've stepped on tonight. That's pretty good for me. 3 hours, 20 minutes later. That's not bad. What? Speedbird, I need to catch up on the chat here. I can see Speedbird is now throwing emojis or something at me. I don't know. Billabongo's checking in. Thanks, man. Again, good to have you. Thanks for the ATC, man. These take a lot of work. I appreciate your effort, and I know I speak for a lot of people that feel exactly the same way. We couldn't do it. It would not be the same without you guys. So thanks for taking your time to learn how to be an air traffic controller and make this game so dang much fun. Alright, so Speedbird's saying, let's see, he doubts it's a true Scottish ale. Yeah, so I'm sure it's some guy that thinks he's pretty close, or he's been to Scotland once or whatever. He travels there in the winter or something like that, brings home some peat moss or something and calls it a Scottish ale. But I don't care. They're still really, really good. And but yeah, to get the authentic thing, I think would be something worth the price of admission.
United 84, turn right heading 180.
Right turn 180, United 284. Hey, there you go. That's when you actually make the right call, or when you make the right response to your call and not someone else's call. It works a little bit better for everyone. So Speedbird, I cannot. Oh, no go around. I had to hover over top of that to see what that meant. I don't do it very often, Speedbird, but I have done it actually this week. I did it when I was trying to fly in on Monday to Eagle County. I must admit, I screwed up the approach. It was way too high. Ended up going around, and of course that approach, I mean, you're like, it's, I think the minimums are 1,800 feet.
Turn right heading 240. Maintain 5,000 until established on the local. Clear localizer, runway 27 approach.
Right turn 240, maintain 5,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the localizer, runway 27 approach, United 284. I just try to hack a lung up while he's talking to me here. Alright, 240. And we're actually just a touch maybe above the localizer or the glide slope right now. Here we go, all this work. See if we can put her down successfully.
United 284, once established on the localizer, contact Lindbergh Tower 118.3. We'll see you later.
When established, over to Tower, United 284. Have a great night. Thanks for the ATC. Take care. This guy should be coming in. I think I see some movement. So let's go ahead and arm the approach. Find the click spot. There we go. Alright, we're making our turn. Lindbergh Tower 1830. Make sure we get established here. Looks like we're good to go.
Flight level.
Alright, 1830.
Heading for 12,000.
Lindbergh Tower, good evening. United 284 on the localizer 27 approach.
Minute 284, Lindbergh Tower, good evening. 27 continue to departure prior to your arrival.
284. Okay, so I'm gonna do something that's kind of crazy, but I want to fly this. I did not come all this way to let the computer have all the fun. So let's see if we can manage to stay on. We need to so I'm looking at the chart here. Vida, which is 10 miles out. Vida need to be at 4,000, so it's okay. We're descending a little bit here. I'm gonna toss a notch of flaps in to help our speed. And
Now go right to 7.
all right, let's do the. By the way, the approach checklist mixture is going to come up to auto rich. Our prop lever, high RPM.
And 2647 rolls down.
Cowl flaps to trail. Again, that's the only way I can do it. My fuel tank, or my boost pumps are coming on. The landing gear not down just yet, and tail wheel is locked, so we will slowly add in. Slowly add in our flaps and our gear as we need it. Again, I'm trying to keep the speed up. I need to be 10 miles. I need to be at 4,000, which oops, I nosed up there a little bit. I'm going to be pretty close. I'm about 500 feet too high right now, but I got a little bit, I still got a mile to go. After that, at 8 miles, I need to be at 3,600. I'm trying to cut throttle and adjust trim here as we go, so I am going to be just a hair high. I'm about 300 feet too high right now, and still have not picked up the airfield just yet. I think I see some poppy lights right there though, but then again I have blinking lights here, so Lord only knows. Let's hope let's hope it renders here a little bit. I'm actually a little bit right of course, so I need to come around. So 8 miles, I'm looking at
Runway heading to
3,600. Sorry, I can't pull this chart over here, but trust me, that's what I'm looking at here. There is no glide slope on this. I think that's my runway right there. I just think I'm kind of crabbing like a big dog right now. Okay, 8 miles. Yeah, I'm pretty good there. 3,000. I need 2,700 at 7 miles. Yeah, I'm starting to slide way left now. All right, I've got the runway in sight. Second notch of flaps. There's my gear horn, and I'm going to go ahead and drop the gear. Generally, they want you to keep the speed up to 5 DME, which we're not actually doing a very good job of. I'm getting down to 120 right now. I'm still a bit high, 3,000. I need to be at 5 DME. I need to be at 2,000. So clear to land runway 27, United 284. So I've got a mile to get 1,000 feet down, so I don't need to be nosing down quite that much. Get my nose out of the way, or my mouse out of the way there. We're going to be just a bit steep on this approach.
San Diego Tower, Speedbird 22 Alpha Heavy with you, short 27, we're at number 2.
Power outage at the airport, yeah, maybe. I'm a bit high according to the poppies, which they are correct. Alright, I am about 300 feet too high, so we're going to toss in another notch of flaps. And the nice thing here, nice long runway for this plane. We don't need a lot of room to land. So, but I'm not going to descend any steeper than 1,000 feet per minute. There's no reason to get carried away, even though we are just a bit high. Start to bring the power back now. I'd like to be a little closer to 100 on the approach, the final approach, the short final. Alright. I can live with that. A couple guys down there waiting on us. That's cool. If I was really good, I'd do a full barrel roll right now and still stick the landing, but yeah, we're not going to do that. Alright, final notch of flaps, and speed is looking good. We are just a bit high, but I'm okay with that. Getting a little steep, I don't need to do that. 1,000 is just fine. We can go down a ways. We have to taxi down there anyway, so look at those big birds. Yeah, we're quite a bit high, but that's okay. Keep speed up down to Bravo 6 for 284. Alright. See, we knew what we were doing. Now all I have to do is figure out which one of these is Bravo 6. Alright, let's bleed off some airspeed here. Oh, there we are. We're down. Bravo 6. Which one are you, Bravo 6? Keep the speed up, like they said.
San Diego Tower, Emirates 215 at
Oh,
ramp.
man. So we are... Actually are... I missed Bravo 7. Dang it. I went too far. I'm going to Bravo 8. Sorry about that. Yeah, the approach is a little steep coming in here. I know that. Not quite London City steep, but I did try to make it London City steep like. Okay, tail wheel unlocked.
exit left, contact ground 123.9 hello.
Alright, exit left and over to ground, United 284, see it. Let's get off the runway here first. Okay to clean up. Alright, we're gonna get our heck out of the way here, but not too far because Bravo is active taxiway. Okay, so over to ground. That wasn't too bad. Not too bad. I'll take that. Again, a little bit high, a little bit steep there. 2590. And I need to figure out where the heck I'm going. Also. Come on, baby. Lindbergh ground. Good evening, United 284. We're clear on Bravo 8.
United 284, contact ground 123.9.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Went to delivery on by mistake. 239er. Yeah, rassafras. 23-9er. And San Diego ground. Good evening, United 284. We're clear on Bravo 8, heading to gate 39er tonight.
Now 284, via Bravo.
Via Bravo, United 284. Alright, so question is,
Ground, what's squawk 4, Emirates 2.
gates. I don't even know which terminal it would be.
Emirates 215, verify squawk mode Charlie.
Gate, there we go.
San Diego ground, United
We said 30.
for pushback.
Can't wait too long. I know I got other planes coming. Gate 30, where are you? There you go, gate 30. Oh, GA large?
Aircraft calling position start is approved.
Oh my gosh. Is that on the other side?
Southwest 156, contact tower 118.6.
You know what, it might be. Alright. Did not realize that. Did not realize that. We're going to just close this guy and we're just going to kind of go in and try to get the heck out of the way here. Alright. It was a little steep, but it was, I would also call that semi-buttery. I mean, I don't know.
42, 27, taxi via Bravo.
I think we're just going to kind of slide right in here, guys.
Via Bravo, 642.
Just got to get out of the way of these big birds. But, you know, all in all, that was fun. See if we can get her swung in here. And honestly wasn't thinking too much about the gate when I took off. That was a fun flight. Speedbird, downwind, Al South, Billa F Bongo. Thank you guys. You made it a total kick in the pants. Really appreciate it. Let's see, real quick, on the stream, coming up, as we shut her down for the night, we, let's see, tomorrow night, last official stream of the week. Going to be down, like I mentioned before, I'm going to be down Hawaii way, and we're going to be taking a look at some of the freeware. No, I take it back. I actually paid for this. Some of the small airport scenery that we came across. Oh, geez, clear back in the summer. I just haven't gotten down there. I told myself I would wait until we had right proper air traffic controllers. So, anyway, stop by tomorrow, be about the same time, maybe a hair earlier so we can fly it during the daytime. But yeah, Speedbird, you have yourself a good night. I'll be checking out, looking for you on the TCAS down the road as well. Let's see, that's about it. So I will have a schedule for next week up soon. But until then, guys, have a fantastic weekend. And take care. God bless.
Just to let you know that's no way to solve a freaking problem.